Tomorrow we will be getting an update to the ban list, and I'm going to start a new monthly series called Ban Watch, where I look at the top 5 cards most likely to get hit with a ban. Here we have our current graveyard of banned cards. Will any of these come off the ban list, or will any be added on? Let's take a look. Alright, before I jump into my top 5, let's just talk about these cards that were named as national promos cards, and so therefore I am marking them safe from my ban watch video today. All of these cards are cards that some members of the community have been asking to either get eroded or get hit with the ban for some time. Indiscriminate Shock, Back Alley Haymaker, Hardened Jab, Tongue Whip. These are all just very, very versatile cards that are extremely strong, and they're run at 3 or 4 ofs on most every deck on these symbols. And then of course Passing the Torch just gives the life symbol and the good symbols so much draw, and then Summon Dark Shadow, back when Tokoyami was a nightmare, people were asking for it to at least be eroded to where the commit your character was a cost instead of part of the effect. But I'm marking them safe for today. I'm imagining that they wouldn't ban a card that they just named as a promo for their biggest event of the year. I'm not saying these are marked safe for forever. You know, in 6 months' time, I'm sure we could be looking at banning these cards again. Alright, coming in at number 1, I have Capture Evildoers. 2 difficulty action on the All Earth and Good symbols, where you get to steal a rival momentum basically, remove theirs, add 1 to yours, and then you can also clear your card pool if you have a momentum. Now, this does have a pretty high deck building cost because it is an action, so actions are allowed to be very strong cards. I don't think from a strength standpoint that this card actually needs to go. I think it's just too format warping at the moment. It's really holding back momentum-based characters like All For One and Mr. Compressed, just to name a few. And there's not quite enough answers to momentum hate, right? We get a lot of stun hate answers that are really awesome, like Keeping Area Safe, It Can't Be Fixed. We just had Looking for a Challenge, Heroic Assistance, but the anti-momentum hate really isn't that strong. We get like Hype Man and Cool and Tough, which are fine, but they're not great. You get Sun Eater, the big 3, but if you're not Amajiki, you're probably not playing that card because the speed reduction wouldn't be worth it unless you're having, you know, at least 3+ cards in your momentum pretty consistently, which Amajiki does, but other characters won't. So I think we could definitely print better anti-momentum hate cards in the future, and Capture Evildoers is just fine. Maybe it just goes on the ban list for a little bit, and then it can come unbanned later. I would be really disappointed if Capture Evildoers got banned, simply because I love to play Mirio, and it would feel weird that Life Overhaul just won 2 straight RLEs, and now we're hitting the good symbol when we didn't hit the good symbol last month. Felt like if Capture Evildoers was going to be banned, we would have already seen it. Therefore, I'm only saying it's a 21.7% chance that it's happening. The movement to ban Capture Evildoers seems to be picking up steam in the community, and so that's why I think there's still a good chance it happens. I wouldn't be surprised. I would be disappointed though. Also, on the All and Fire symbols, those symbols have so many amazing actions that a lot of those decks just aren't playing Capture Evildoers. So Evildoers is not this like, I'm going to play this at a 3 or 4 of on all its symbols all the time. And so in that sense, it's really not a ban-worthy card. You could say it's just warping the format too much at this time. And I really couldn't argue with you if you said that. Alright, coming in at number 2, I have Repeated 100% Smash. Should have been a do check. I'm only giving it a 14% chance of being banned. I would put it, you know, at 50% or greater if it wasn't a secret rare. It remains to be seen if UVS Games is willing to ban a secret rare or not. You know, this card definitely should have been a 2-check. It's the definition of a 2-check. You're readying foundations for every punch in your card pool. 2-checks are typically cards that help your progressive difficulty in some way, like Tetsu Tetsu Thrashing, right? Getting to look at the top card of your deck. If it's an attack, you're going to build it down. If it's a foundation, it stays there and you're guaranteed to check a 5 next time. Then you get the 2 damage. Or you have like Specialized Sound Waves where you get to stack your deck with whatever 2 cards that you want. You get bullet punches. You're going to be adding a card to your momentum and clearing progressive. So this is like the definition of a 2-check to me. If they made it a 2-check, it would have been a perfectly fine card and probably would still have seen play. If they wanted to keep it as a 3-check, it should have been statted like it's a 4 difficulty attack, because fundamentally it is a 4 difficulty attack. Even if you play this first, you're going to be readying a foundation, so it should have been statted that way. It should be a 4 high 4, or it should be a 2 check. As is, it's definitely too strong. I just don't think that they're going to ban a secret rare from the latest set. Maybe in the future, but probably not right now. And you could say that, look, it only says for each punch in your card pool, so it's really forcing you to play punches. And it's not on great punch symbols with life, order, and void. But even on those symbols, the punch keyword is just way too powerful of a keyword at the moment. All right, number 3, I have new training method. This really isn't from a power standpoint. It's really just from it favors player 1 so heavily standpoint, and it's just not fun. Like, when we watched Jose play Gamer Toga and win the webcam RLE in Season 1, there was a round either in the semifinals or finals where he went first, drew 7 foundations, and because of new training method, built all 7. And did it with a straight face because player 2 can't attack you on turn 1, so there's no threat of getting punched in the face, right? Like if you use new training method going second, you've at least got rid of a lot of cards in your hand, it comes in committed, and there's a good chance you could just die for getting really greedy on your build. But there's no threat of being greedy on your build going first, and the new training method just allows you to have these really, really insane builds where you got you built 2-3 difficulty foundations, and that just shouldn't happen when your character's committed. That should be if you want to build 2-3 difficulty foundations, that should be a big risk that you could check a 3 when you go for it on 4, or whatnot. But it just leads to some really not fun games when a certain player gets to build a ton. Also, it's a way to hit life overhaul a little bit, and just the life decks in general, and it hits the good symbol as well, and the earth symbol. These are all 3 of the symbols on this card are the problematic symbols, right? Earth, good, and life have always been the best symbols in the game. Maybe you could say chaos too, but this just feels like a really nice way to hit life overhaul as well. The commit flip to pick up a foundation after you check it is a big deal for overhaul. All right, at number 4, I have It Can't Be Fixed. Now, people have been calling for this card to be hit for a long time, but we haven't had enough anti-stun pieces to really hit, one of the core stun pieces, anti-stun of the game. Now I think we have enough anti-stun cards to where It Can't Be Fixed could be shown the door, and we could still have a healthy meta, and maybe even it would allow the order symbol and 4th guide to come back into the game a little bit, whereas right now they're really being gate kept out. So you can say this is format warping, similar to Capture Evildoers. We have Keeping Airy Safe, Heroic Assistance, Looking for a Challenge. Got a lot of stun hate in set 5. I think we can say goodbye to It Can't Be Fixed. Highly doubt it happens. I'm going to give it a 5.8% chance. All right, last, this might be a personal vendetta. It's Release. This falls into the category of why the fork am I consistently using my Electric Jolt to commit down a 0 difficulty foundation with no keywords. If I'm on offense and I need to commit down one piece of my opponent's board, I should be trying to commit down their 3 difficulty foundation, their 2 difficulty unique foundation. Why am I doing a 0 diff? Or if I'm looking to destroy one of their foundations, why am I always picking a 0 diff? This is just way too powerful. It's fine on the chaos and air symbols, right? It's just, it's still too powerful in those symbols, but it's not cracked. But on the life symbol, where you're pairing it with Back Alley Haymaker, it's way, way too good. It just stinks when you're like, I'll destroy your Release, and then they just build it back with Back Alley Haymaker for free. It feels like either Back Alley Haymaker needs to go, or Release needs to go. Haymaker was just named a Nationals promo, so it's not leaving. Let's go ahead and get rid of Release. Let's force these symbols to play their other defensive cards, and not just rely on the power of this 0 diff. Again, this might be a personal vendetta. It's probably not going to happen, especially because Release is a defensive card. Typically, the cards that you see banned are the ones that are leading to turn 2 kills, not the ones that are actually protecting you from those turn 2 kills. But I hate Release. I want to see it gone. Even though it has a cool promo and I spent the money to get those promos, I still wanted to see it gone. 4% chance. And that is going to do it for Band Watch for this month. I highly doubt that anything happens before Nationals. If there were something to happen, I think it would probably be Capture Evildoers, maybe Repeated or New Training Method, and then in my dreams, It Can't Be Fixed and Release. That's my top 5. What do you think? Are there any cards that I left off, or do you think any of these cards have a higher percentage chance of being banned? And do you think UVS Games actually has it to where they could ban an SR, or is this off the table and we just have to deal with it forever? That is going to do it for me. I will see you guys next time.